Good afternoon and welcome to the Inspiring Inking Facebook page, or welcome to the Inspiring Inking YouTube channel. Today is Craft and Chat. It's Tuesday the 29th of November 2022. If you've never seen Craft and Chat before, we have a little bit of chatting and then some crafting. Now, if you've watched any of my recent videos, you will know I've been having sound issues. I have said multiple times, I hope it's fixed now. And I really, really, really hope it's fixed now. So if you're here, please can you tell me what the sound is like? Is it okay? Honestly, I'm going to tell you the process of what I've been going through with the sound, but only if it's all sorted out. So let's see. Scylla is here. Hello. How are you doing, Scylla? The sound is good for her. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Currently, you're the only person commenting, although I've got quite a few people here live, so I would imagine that everyone's just catching up. It probably looks like I'm wearing a blanket. I'm not. It's actually, look, it's actually a sort of wrap thing. Let me just show you the really cool bit, if I can find it. Look. It's a Stampin' Up wrap. It's one of the presents that they gave us for being top achievers. And I don't know whether you can see, but it's so soft. It's like puppy ears. So, and if you read my blog post yesterday, I've not been very well. And I'm probably not very well still. I'm improving. So I'm kind of keeping toasty and cozy. And for those of you that I'm doing craft along tonight, I've been resting up this morning and I shall rest up after this. So I promise I'll be fine for tonight. So, oh, look, like a million messages have arrived. I love that. Okay, so if you missed the first few seconds, I know I have repeatedly said, I think I fixed the sound. I really, really, really believe I have fixed the sound, but you guys are the only ones that can tell me. And I'm going to if you're all saying yes, the sound is good, then I'll tell you what's been going on. So let me just say hello to everybody that I can see, because the comments are going mad. Teresa's here. She's saying the sound is good. Hi, Leslie. Jan's here. Sounds good for her. Hollywood is in the house. Hi, Valerie. Janet's going hello to everybody. She really, really hopes for my sake. Yes, it has been. Yeah, I've wanted to throw everything out the window on multiple occasions. Scylla's good. Sound okay so far, says Anne. Teresa's here from Virginia. Thank you, Teresa, for joining us today. Good morning. No, good afternoon, Margaret. Gloomy. It's gloomy in Oxford. Janet's saying sound is perfect. Picture is great. Jackie's saying I look very cozy. I am, honestly. It's just, I don't know. It's really lightweight. It's strange, but very toasty. Donna's saying hello to everyone. Oz is in the house. Sound and light is good for Valerie in Florida. Still saying sorry, I've not been well. Yeah, I think it's some kind of virus. I haven't been sick enough for flu. Okay. So in my world, if you've got flu, you can't get out of bed. That's kind of flu. So I've kind of had something in between a really bad chesty cough and cold and flu, kind of somewhere in the middle, because kind of I didn't want to get off the sofa, but I could get up. Does that make sense? Um, Obviously, I've tested and I do not have the dreaded COVID. So, it's just a bug, but we test anyway, don't we? We check. We check. Um, Margaret's saying the sound is good today. Sue's here, Jackie's here, Dino's here. Sound much better today. Yes, 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 yes. Anne is saying hello to all her crafty pals and me. Cold in Yorkshire. Hello, Karen. Okay, so until we've had several craft alongs and craft and chats and team lives and everything else with the sound good, I'm not going to be convinced I've fixed it. But I started having problems months ago and bought a new microphone. And for a little while, it worked fine. Then I had problems with vibrations from the desk. I had problems with my sound cutting out. I had all kinds of weird sound issues. So I got a new boom arm, which is like a big metal thing that clamps on the desk. So that sorted out the vibration problems. But then, depending on where the microphone was compared to my mouth, sometimes it was intermittent, sometimes it was like a reverberation on it. It was just really weird. So then I tried different cables. Brian built kind of a different contraption. So the microphone arm is actually attached to my camera arm. So it's not on the table. So those vibrations aren't working. Oh, I forgot to say that I've also now got elastic bands around my table legs to stop the reverberation through the table legs. Honestly, this has been a complete mystery. We've not been able to replicate the issues consistently. I've tried different software, I've tried different plugins, I've tried all kinds of things. I think we've done it, which is a combination of different software, systems, and wires. And whatever day it was, Thursday. To be honest, that's probably what made me sick. Thursday, I spent the whole day from when I got up till when Brian got home in the evening, testing it. And I thought I'd fixed it. And then I tested it again on Friday and it hadn't. But I've been doing a lot of testing today again. I think we're there. So I need you to promise me that if the sound starts going wonky again, and for those of you that have never heard the wonky sound, basically what happens is you kind of miss words or parts of words. It's like an intermittent fault. So as a general rule, you can figure out what I'm saying, but it's not very kind to your ears at all. So, needless to say, after all that, I just want it to work. I just really want it to work. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But you have to promise me to let me know. Mum's here. Hello, Pauline. How are you doing today? Donna Donna's saying modern technology is great when it's working properly. Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not a sound engineer. I'm a crafter. And to be honest, I'm a crafter who never expected to be live on, on Facebook and YouTube. That was never kind of part of my game plan. And all the way along, I've been learning and figuring it out. And I don't like to be beaten. There have been several times we assumed, and I think wrongly assumed, it was the microphone that was the issue. And this is a great microphone. But some people have issues with it. So it was kind of, do you want to go and buy another microphone? So anyway, we'll see. We're going to keep all our fingers and toes and eyes and everything crossed. And going, oh my gosh, I thought technology was supposed to make life easier. It is. No, it doesn't. Hi, Anita. She's saying hello to everybody. Good to see you again. Okay, so obviously I'm conscious of not being live for too long this afternoon because I have got another 2 hours this evening and I don't know how my voice is going to hold up. So the issue with my voice is not that I lose my voice, but then I start coughing. So that's not great. So I shall keep coffee. I'll keep having lots of drinks and things, and hopefully it'll be fine. The blue ombre yarn. When am I making something with it? This is my pretty yarn. So is it that one? Is it that one, Valerie? There's ice yarns. Awesome company. It's a company in Turkey. They have really, really good value yarn, but the shipping is really high. So when you purchase from them, the shipping costs will make you go, ooh. But when you kind of divide the shipping cost per ball, it works out really, really reasonably. So there is less yarn here than there was a few weeks ago because I am making stuff and I am planning on doing a crochet along early next year. So yeah, I'm designing, which is very exciting. Hi, Judith. Donna's saying for me not to be too hard on myself about the technology. I know, but as much as anything, I don't want people to switch off. And if the sound's rubbish, people will just switch me off. Doesn't matter. Well, actually, I guess they could mute me. That would work. Oh, Jackie's recommending hot squash and honey. Yeah. I often have hot Ribena and honey. So sweet though. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. So a few Stampin' Up things to talk to you about. I don't know about that, Donna. Donna's saying I'm too entertaining, so she wouldn't switch me off. Yeah. Sometimes I am. Sometimes. Right. So important things to know. This mini catalogue is finishing on the 4th of January, which means on Thursday, in case you didn't know, I'll whisper, in case you didn't know, it's December on Thursday. Just in case that was going to come as a shock to anybody. It's December on Thursday. So that means we're going to go to the retiring list. So on Thursday, depending on where you are in the world, it will be midnight wherever you are in the world, unless, of course, you're in the UK. When we work on European time, so it's actually 11 p.m. on Wednesday, the retiring list will go live with discounts up to 60% discounts. Now, as well as those discounts, there's going to be an update on the clearance rack, which they announced this morning. I didn't know that was coming, so I need to get that information out. And let me see if I can add this. So do you remember in September we had these dies, and they were like limited edition dies for different stamp sets? So they're called Perfect Partners. There's ones with the Yeti and the Christmas tree and the little piggies, the waterfall, the apples. That's a floral set. So apparently they're going to be in the clearance rack as well. So make sure you check out kind of all the things, so you can get your discounts, because we're all looking after the pennies. So that is really important. And if Santa isn't likely to get you the things that you might like, you could always do something that I do sometimes. Even Brian does this sometimes. Is we buy something and then we hand it to the other person with a note on it saying, "I need wrapping." And then you have to look surprised when it appears under the Christmas tree. So how are we doing with Christmas shopping? How are we doing with that? I've talked about this a lot. I do 90% of my shopping online. And to be honest, one of the main there's two main reasons why I do it. Firstly, because I can usually find it at a cheaper price than I can on the high street. And also then it means it's delivered here, and then, I don't have to go to the outside. Because let's face it, sometimes when you go shopping, you can go round the shops for ages and not find the things that you want. So yeah, so we are almost done. I've got to go out on Thursday to get a few extra little bits that I can't get online. See, and not everything is available. But a lot of it's wrapped as well. So as much as I really didn't want to get off the sofa over the weekend, I did help Brian with a bit of DIY. And by help, I mean I held the Hoover to suck up the dust, or used a water gun to stop the drill from overheating. Nothing that needed brain power or anything. No concentration or anything. But we did wrap presents. And again, I say we wrapped presents. I bring the presents, Brian wraps the presents, and I label the presents. And I have an app, and I've talked about this before. I'll put a picture up on my blog of the app that I use. And I think now you have to pay for it. But basically, I have everybody's name and the budget, of how much. So, I can keep track, because sometimes you can forget that you've got somebody something, particularly if you buy things early. And then I can keep track, and it's got like a little tab on it. So, you've got ideas, and then you've bought it, and then you've wrapped it, and then you've delivered it, or they've received it. And the best bit is you can archive all the presents. So I can look at somebody and go, oh, well, I think, I don't know, a cheese hamper, for instance, would be a really good idea. But then I'll realize, well, that's what I bought them last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago or whatever. So it's just really cool. I used to have a book. I've probably still got the books actually in one of the cupboards, but I used to have a book, but this means it's with me all the time. So yeah, it's very exciting. So let's have a look. Peggy's saying so far so good. Jackie's saying she does the same because her hubby Rob never knows what to buy her. Wow, Leslie has finished all her Christmas shopping and most of it's wrapped. Margaret has finished making her Christmas cards. Oh my word. Janet's having a nightmare with Marks and Spencer's. It's taken over a week to sort out, and in spite of umpteen phone calls and emails, they keep sending her order to her sister's address. How bizarre. So Donna's not buying Christmas presents as her son has finally gotten the keys to his new house. So they're busy moving him in while he's at work. He's an interstate truck driver. So that's their Christmas present this year. The grandkids will get presents though, but not the adults. Yeah, so we have that rule that once a family has children, it's the children that get the presents. But then the children get too old. So then we get the adults presents again. I know, it's kind of weird. But we've done chopping of our budget again this year, which I think lots of people have. And for me, often it's more about getting the perfect thing for somebody than spending a certain amount of money. Yeah, I'm sure that makes sense to all of you actually. Because sometimes the thing that you think will be perfect for them will, is more inexpensive. So although I have a budget for each person, I don't feel that I have to go to that budget. Does that make sense? Probably. So yeah. So Jackie's had a problem with Marks and Spencer's online as well. We'll only go to one address and she had problems with the flowers. So Dino's ready. Presents and all of her handmade cards are ready to mail. Yeah. So it will not surprise you to know I haven't finished my Christmas cards. To be honest, I've probably got enough, but I haven't done a count up of how many I need and how many I've got. So that's the job for this weekend. So if you are in the UK particularly, please get your Christmas cards sent fairly soon. There's something like 6 or 8 postal strikes between now and Christmas. So and basically what's going to happen is there'll be a strike for a couple of days, and then there'll be a backlog, and then in a couple of days' time there's going to be another strike. So it's just going to snowball. So yeah, so it's going that way. So Chris is happily exchanging charity donations with most of her friends. I love that. I remember one year, can't remember who it was for. So this must have been pre-children. One of my school friends, she wanted charitable donations for I'm trying to think. I want to say a goat. I think it was a goat. But she was sponsoring a goat. So it would that's what I'm saying about the perfect gift for the person. Ooh. So Judith, oh, I love this. Judith is saying we are doing a make a gift or spend no more than £5 in a charity shop. That's adults only, not for the kids. I love that because you can get an awful lot in a charity shop for £5 for a start off. But that's benefiting the charity as well. That's very, very cool. Sue is busy assembling some Christmas cards right now. So, yeah. Okay. So, yes. Anne is saying that she had a wonderful sponsor gift a few years ago. Yeah, so that's the sort of thing with this goat. Honestly, it was a long time ago. Connor's 27, so I must be going back 35 years about this goat. Yeah. So Anne is saying she had a sponsor gift, a one-eyed fruit bat. It was really cute. Chris is saying it could be a goat. One was given to an African family on her behalf a few years ago. Yeah. So that's probably kind of the thing. She'd been doing, yeah, I would imagine so, because she'd been working in a school in Africa. That's probably the connection. Okay. Awesome. Right. So I am going to make something fun, and you can join in with me today if you want to. So I'll slurp my coffee in a second so you can run off. What I want you to do is go and get a square piece of paper. So probably for this first one, you want either a piece of photocopier paper or printer paper, or you can have a piece of patterned paper, but it needs to have contrasting sides, just because it's easier to see. So any of my team that were with me on Thursday or will probably know what we're going to do in a minute. But I will show you first. So whilst you run off to get some paper, let me slurp my coffee. Now you can make these with any size square. The smaller, the more difficult it is. And the thicker the paper, the more difficult it is. So that's why I'm saying it's probably best to start with printer paper. And although it's possible to do it in cardstock, I don't recommend it because it's hard. So do you want to see? Do you want to see what we're making? Okay, so how cool is that? So it's got a sort of pointy angled bottom. I will show you the inside in a minute. I'll show you the measurements. But basically, this is an origami ornament. But this size and this size are big enough to put presents in. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 sizes. So you've got this size. You've got this size. And then you've got this size. How cute is that? Okay, so 12-inch square, 8-inch square, 4-inch square. It's so tiny. It is very, very cute. I don't know. Could you get a ring in that? I think you probably could. So, I have also been practicing turning my camera around or without putting the black screen up. Let's see if we can do it. Da, da, da. Are you ready? Ta-da! So, is the sound still okay? Is the sound still okay? Right, let me move my coffee out of the way. I might. So I did bring some more Christmas paper, but I think I'm going to do a birthday one because then you'll be able to see how you can use it as a gift box or even sorting out the or have decorations on a birthday tree. Maybe a birthday tree is something that we should invent. You know, I've always wanted it's going to sound ridiculous. I have always wanted to have a twiggy tree that I could put eggs on and flowers on for Easter. And I'm just never that organized. I'm never organized enough to think about it in time to be able to do something about it. And I don't have a tree, that kind of twiggy tree. It's on my list. We will get there eventually. And I know I'm going to get asked. I've got my color changing nail polish on again. So the bits of my fingers that are colder will be dark pink, and the bits like that, like there, and the bits that are warmer will be pale pink sparkly. Okay, so let me just measure these so you know how big they're going to be when they're finished. So, ooh, that's not going to, I'm going to say, I'm going to measure it and it's like, I would say this is about 8 inches tall. And the base is, ooh, 5.5 inches probably. So then that would make sense. That's about 4.5 inches tall. And the base is about 3.5. And then this tiddy one is about 2.5 inches tall and about 1.75 inches square. Okay. So you need a bone folder. I talk about these all the time. The Stampin' Up ones are made of cattle bone. They'll feel cold to the touch. So if ever you're buying a gift for a vegetarian or a vegan, please don't buy them a Stampin' Up bone folder because it's made of cattle bone. You can get plastic ones, but the bone ones are better. It's really designed for making creases. Okay, so you need a square piece of paper and some ribbon and a hole punch. Again, I get asked about this one all the time. This is called a crocodile. Ooh, Stampin' Up did make them once. Well, they partnered with the company that makes them. The company that makes them is called We Are Memory Keepers. So that's WE and then R Memory Keepers. And these bits here are hole punches. And this contraption here in the center is for setting eyelets. Really lovely tool, but any kind of hole punch will do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go with the green side of things. First thing we're going to do is fold our square piece of paper into 4 squares. So this is origami, and it means that you have to be precise with your folding. Once you've done a few of these, you'll find it really easy. But when you're starting out, just make sure that you are double checking, and you want to make sure that your edges are always square. Okay. So I've folded it with my fingers and then used the bone folder. Okay, so we've got 4 squares now. Can you see? That way and that way and that way. So then turn it like it's a diamond shape, and you're going to make triangles. So you're going to go point to point, like so. Sue's just bought a bone folder. That's brilliant. She's going to use it today. And Kathy Jean. Oh my word, Kathy Jean. So Kathy's in Alberta, in Canada, and it's minus 18 degrees centigrade. With a wind chill. Oh, that's dreadful. Okay, so you've got triangles there. So we're going to, so I did it that way. Okay. Now you're going to turn it around and you're going to fold it that way. Tanya's pleased that I've said that they're made of bone. Yeah, it's cattle bone. So obviously it's a byproduct, but it's, oh, not the bone folder, the crocodile. Sorry, Sue. Yeah, we love the crocodile. It's awesome. Right. Okay. So when you are looking at your piece of paper, you should, I'm going to draw it now. You're going to now find out why I'm a stamper, not an artist. So you will have done score lines like that first. And then you will have done score lines like that. So if your piece of paper looks like that now, you are on fire. And we're more than halfway through. Okay, so now we are going to make kites. So you're going to take, so your piece of paper is square. You're going to take this long straight edge and you're going to line it up against this diagonal central fold like this. Now, if this is why having a real contrast of papers helps, because you can see exactly where it needs to be. Be careful at this end because it's quite narrow. And if you're not sure, if you're right up to the crease line, just fold your paper up a little bit. So give it a squish like that. Reinforce your fold all the way down. And then you're going to take, so that was the bottom edge, then you're going to take the right hand edge and you're going to bring it up to meet it. And can you see why I call this making a kite? Because this is definitely a kite fold. So that looks like a kite. Okay. Then you're going to unfold it. Then you're going to turn it clockwise 1 turn. So you're just going to hold it and turn it once. And you're going to do exactly the same. So you're going to take the bottom edge and bring it up to the diagonal fold. the right hand edge to the diagonal fold. And remember, if you're watching me on the replay, you can pause me. Okay, so you've made another kite. Open it up. You're going to turn it round a quarter again. We're going to repeat it. This is the third time. So the bottom edge to this diagonal fold. Right hand edge to the center. And again, each time, just be careful with those little edges. Because these are quite little here. So just be gentle with them and encourage them as opposed to, really squashing them. You don't want to tear the paper. Okay, unfold it. Last time. Quarter turn. And then line it up. Make your kite for the last time. There we go. Good squash. Okay. So you have got a huge number of folds on your paper. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring in a white piece because I just want to show you the important things. So you've got obviously the original. Where's that piece of paper gone? You've got the original folds like that, but we've now put in more folds. Let me just see if I can put these all in. There and there and then oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not no, I'm not going to try and do that. That's too confusing. Okay. So, when you look at your score lines, have your piece of paper square and you are looking for this score line here. So, it's like a long triangle and you've got the centerpiece. And then you've got these two pieces. So that makes like a pentagram. But this is the important piece because this is the piece that we are going to, if I turn it over the other way, we are going to push in together like this to make the sides. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there to show you when we pull our sides in. But before we do that, we are going to punch our holes. Now, if you remember, we did the diagonal folds, didn't we, originally? And that's where you're going to punch your hole. You're going to punch your hole on that central fold. on all 4 sides. And I'm just going to grab my scissors. And you need a piece of ribbon to hang, and then a piece of ribbon to tie in a bow. So you need 2 pieces of ribbon. Okay. So let me just pull this up. So you remember that piece? Well, I've got exactly the same piece here, and I'm going to push it in so that I can bring these 2 corners and they will come up and join together. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other bit. I'm going to push on that center piece and it's going to pull those pieces up together. And then I'm going to push on that center piece again and that center piece. Ooh. That centerpiece. Ooh, and that centerpiece. Okay. So push, push, push on those centerpieces, and this will all come up together like so. And it will make like a pyramid. But you won't get the correct shape unless you flip it over and just push these pieces in. So you push it in, push it in, push it in. So these are valley folds, valley fold, valley fold. And then that gives you your perfect shape. So let me show this to you again. So let me do the squiggly line on that bit. That's the important piece. So when you've got these pieces like this, you're going to push those pieces in. Push them in. And it will just go in like that. Okay. Now, if you're leaving it as an ornament, you can just thread the ribbon through, and I'll show you that in a second. But if you want to put a gift in there, all of this paper is actually going to get in the way. So what you can do is you can trim some of this away. Now, don't take anything from this very top bit because you need a bit of stability up there when you're fastening. But you can cut a scoopy bit, technical term, scoopy bit, away like that. It's not a huge amount, but it will make a difference to what you can keep or put in there. And obviously, if you are working with smaller pieces of paper, you're going to put less in. Less chocolate. Okay. Right. So press those in. Press that in. Press that in. Come on. Go together. Check the base is all sorted. So I'm going to get my ribbon. So that's the bit for the loop. So I'll put that to one side. And this is the bit to tie the bow. So the first thing you want to do is thread it from the pattern side to the inside. Then from the inside to the outside. Okay, just pull that so they're kind of snugly together. Then this piece is on the outside and it's going to go from the outside to the inside, and that's where we're going to put our hanging loop. So you thread it through. Let's pull it a bit tighter, and if your ribbon twists, just untwist it. And get your hanging loop and do it at this point because it's so much easier to do it now. So put your loop on I've just tied an overhand knot, and I'm going to use my scissors and cut that at a jaunty angle so it looks cute. And then this is on the inside, so I'm going to go from the inside to the outside. So what will happen then is that when we get back to the what's going to be the front where the bow is, your loop is at the back, so you can pull that tight, and then this is where your bow's going to be, and the ribbon is coming from the inside to the outside. So let's just tie that and then tie a nice bow. Again, cut your ribbons off nicely, like so. And there you go. There is, so it will hang. And there is your beautiful gift box / ornament. So does anyone need me to go over anything if you were folding along with me? Obviously, if you're not going to hang it, you don't need to put the hanger on, and you can just have it as a box. Jackie's just put on the smaller ones, the little ones, or even the teeny ones could be place settings. Might hold a Lindt chocolate. That would work. Quite often in our crackers and things, we put the after dinner mints, so that works. So yeah, lots of ideas. So this one, so this you can easily do. This is the 8-inch one. So this will hold quite a few things, and it's a nice size. Let me just hide that bit. It's a nice size and would sit nicely as a table favor. So that would work. Judith managed to do it with a cat on her lap. Thanks, Margaret. Sue's saying it will hold quite a few Ferrero Rocher or Lindt chocolates. Awesome. Right, so let me just I'll put them there so they can see the different sizes. Actually, I can move them all along and put the birthday one there as well. Just makes a nice, different size, different shape of something to do. Oh, brilliant. Anne's just made one with the 6-inch square. Anne, can you measure how big it will be? Obviously, it'll be kind of in between those two sizes, won't it? I'm just going to slurp my coffee, see if anyone else has got any more comments. And can we just have another sound check? How is the sound doing now? You're going to be so sick and tired of me asking about the sound. Yeah. Sound has held up good, says Donna. Judith saying the sound is good. Hooray. Yay! Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Dino. Thank you, Jan. Awesome. So I am thrilled that you've enjoyed this. I actually like origami quite a bit, but only when I can kind of make the process make sense to me, and that's why I'm talking about squares and triangles and kite shapes. So if you've enjoyed that, then I might bring some other other things. I did do an Easter basket a little while ago. You can always look that one up. It's on YouTube, I'm sure, or on my blog. Or a Christmas basket, I think we did. That was an origami fold as well. Right, so Anne's saying a 6-inch, which would be in between here, is about 3¼ inches tall and 2 3/4 inches wide. So again, that would be a brilliant size. And I know lots of us have 6-inch stash, and of course you can get 4 of those then out of a 12 by 12 patterned paper. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jackie. Okay, so I am going to love you and leave you. I will see many of you in a few hours. What time is it? 3 o'clock. Yeah, 4 hours time for Craft Along in November. So I will look forward to seeing lots of you then. And I will see you next week for another Craft and Chat. Take care till then. Bye-bye.